And we're back. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today's video, we're going to stay away from the politics, the cancel culture, the woke SJW nonsense. This story is personal to me. This story really hits home to me, and I'll explain why. Now, I know this is about Lady Gaga and her French Bulldogs, kinda. Lady Gaga, kinda, because it's her French Bulldogs. But full disclosure, I don't think Lady Gaga is a good person. I've read a lot of things, heard a lot of things, seen a lot of things. Is it all true? I don't know. I just don't like Lady Gaga, who she is, what she represents. That's just my opinion. If you're a fan, cool. I got, to each their own. All right. So, Lady Gaga, she has 3 French Bulldogs, and her dog walker was out walking them. Someone comes up, tries to steal her dogs from her dog walker, gets in a little scuffle. They shoot this guy. One of the dogs takes off, takes 2 of the dogs, dog naps him, leaves this guy for dead, and dips out. That's scary. All right. Now, here's a tweet from Lady Gaga right after it happened. And listen, after this whole beginning part here with Lady Gaga and her French Bulldogs, I'm going to get away from Lady Gaga and more into the French Bulldogs, so you'll see why it's personal to me. So it says, my beloved dogs, Koji and Gustav, were taken in Hollywood 2 nights ago. Shocking, it was in California, dumpster fire that the place is. My heart is sick, and I'm praying my family will be whole again with an act of kindness. I will pay $500,000 for their safe return. A $500,000 reward. All right, email at Koji and Gustav. Well, okay, so there was a happy ending to that. And listen, I have a dog. I have a French Bulldog. I know how people feel about their dogs, regardless of the breed. And I don't wish upon anyone the feeling of losing their dog, whether it dies, gets stolen, anything like that. So her good news, this story had a happy ending. The dog that ran away was found shortly after. The 2 dogs that were dog napped, all have been returned. It says Lady Gaga's dogs recovered safely after theft and shooting. And it says the dog walker Ryan Fisher was shot once as he walked the 3 of the singer's dogs. Now, this guy got shot once. Apparently, he's recovering. He's going to be okay, which that's good too. Good for him. So some lady apparently that was not affiliated with the attack, not affiliated with the theft of the dogs, returned her dogs to the police. Don't know if she's getting the $500,000 reward. So I'm sure once these. So listen, I can almost guarantee you, I'm 99.9% sure Lady Gaga was not the target of her dogs being stolen. And I'm sure what happened was once these knuckleheads that shot this guy and stole the dogs realized what they'd done, once they seen it all over the media and there's a $500,000 reward for this, they probably just let the dogs go. Get the hell out of here. Want nothing to do with it. They realized they screwed up. They had way more media attention than they ever thought they would. And I think that's why they let the dogs go and this lady found them and turned them in. She wasn't the target. So Lady Gaga doesn't have anything to really do with this story. People might make it sound like, oh, she's a victim here. Well, it sucks that happened to her, her dog walker and her dogs, but it had nothing to do with her. So what it had to do with was the breed of the dog, French Bulldogs. If you look, the 10 most commonly stolen breeds. Number 1, French Bulldog. There's a couple reasons for that.
When it comes to dog thefts across the Bay Area and beyond, boy, French Bulldogs seem to at least be an increasingly popular target over the last several months. We've been reporting on that breed specifically as one that crooks have an eye on for. The case that really got a lot of attention last month, a woman in San Francisco's Russian Hill. I mean, her face was bloodied and she was robbed at gunpoint and her Frenchie was stolen.
Yes, she's still heartbroken over that. They're adorable and they're really expensive, right, which could explain things. Today, pop star Lady.
So you heard that little news clip. They're adorable. Yeah, they're adorable. And they're really expensive. Really expensive. So I have a French Bulldog, Goose. This is him in the picture. He is an absolutely amazing dog. Look at him. He's beautiful. He's got a perfect build, nice head. He's just a perfect American Bulldog. Beautiful. He's got some great European bloodlines. Very, 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 very expensive dog. However, I didn't have to pay. I didn't have to pay a lot of money for him. I didn't have to pay any money for him. I don't want to get into the story, but anyway, I was super blessed, and he's an amazing dog. And knowing that I have a French Bulldog like Goose, I could be the target of any of this craziness. I mean, he's my right-hand man. He goes everywhere with me. He's laying right next to me right now. I can feel him leaning against my feet. You know, he's my ride or die. So, this is scary, and this isn't something new. So the breeder I got Goose from, his real name's Tug, but I call him Goose. So the breeder I got him from, she's a very reputable, internationally known breeder, and she doesn't live that far away from me. And I do some puppy transport for her from time to time when she has litters and they've got to be driven from where I live, 5, 6, 7 hours away, whether it's to Buffalo, New York, or, down in New Hampshire or Boston. I recently did a few puppy transports. So I live obviously on the East Coast. Took these 2 puppies for about a 6 or 7 hour ride to drop off to a customer, and I had to pick up a bunch of money for the puppies to bring back to her. That's very nerve-wracking, knowing that these puppies are worth a lot of money, and also the cash. But the cash, I wasn't even worried too much about the cash aspect. It was more about the puppies. This adorable little female is another puppy transport I had to do recently. A beautiful, such a cute, amazing, just adorable little puppy. Very expensive. These breeders, people pay a lot of money. We're talking anywhere between 25, 3,000 to 8, 9, 10,000 or more for these puppies. Averages 4 to 6,000. So it makes sense. So, that's something that always sticks in the back of my head when I do these puppy transports. Whenever I have Goose with me, whenever I take him for a ride and I have to leave him in the car for a minute, I'm like, oh, Jesus, I can't leave him in the car. I don't like leaving him in the car by himself anyway, but if I'm just running in somewhere and running out, without him in the car, I'd leave the car running, leave the doors unlocked. But when he's in there, I got to make sure the doors are locked, the windows are down a little bit so he's got air, but no one's going to, and like I said, leaving him in the car for a long period of time, for me, a long period of time is a minute and a half tops. I don't leave him long. Anyway. So yeah, it's super scary. Now I saw this meme today online, and this obviously was made after the whole Lady Gaga thing just happened with her dogs. I thought it was a pretty funny meme. It's Angelina Jolie with her pistols. It says, "Getting ready to walk my Frenchie." All right, that's funny. That's funny. It's sad. It's sad that's the world we live in, that to go out and walk your dog, you got to be armed up. I mean, listen, when I take these rides with these puppy transports, when I have Goose with me, when I'm taking him for a walk or something, I'm not taking a chance of someone rolling up and shooting me. I make sure I'm properly trained in case that, I'm not living in some world where I think everything's, I don't got to make sure I'm aware of my surroundings. No, I make sure I'm prepared for what could possibly happen, for what happened to Lady Gaga's dog walker. I make sure I keep a shotgun in my house right where I can get it in case, someone sees me, follows me home with Goose, tries to come and get him at my house. They're not going to get up the driveway. So French Bulldog owners need to be aware that owning a breed like that, the breeder that I got Goose from and that I do puppy transports for and things, nobody knows where she lives. I know where she lives. Nobody knows where she lives. She doesn't even tell family members where she lives, because she's got, between 7 and 10 adult dogs. They're all very well taken care of. Great dogs. She's really good with her dogs. Very well trained, very healthy, very well taken care of. And she's always got a litter or 2 on the ground. And not always, but so that's somewhere where somebody wants to come in and steal French Bulldogs could do a lot of damage. And I don't think that they would, to let her stand in the way of them getting, you know, a bunch of French Bulldogs, getting the money that comes with it. So it's scary. It's scary out there. All right, so I just want to play the rest of that news report, see what else that had to say, and then I'll end this video. Didn't want to make this a long, drawn-out video. Let's see what else these people had to say.
Well, Vicki and Grant, you mentioned some of those right there, but first of all, it's because these dogs are just hugely popular here in the Bay Area. A recent survey that was done by pet company Rover.
Not just in the Bay Area, they're hugely popular everywhere. I mean, they would be so much more popular if they weren't so expensive. I think the money that people have to pay, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a French Bulldog puppy is what keeps. I mean, if you only had to go pay, you know, a couple $100,000, $500,000 for a French Bulldog, everyone would have them because they're amazing. Listen, they're amazing dogs. I used to have a Rottweiler, you know, 20-something years ago. I had a Pit Bull about 10 or 11 years ago. I always liked the more bigger dogs, but French Bulldogs are the best. I love them. Fell in love with them a few years, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, and that's when I started looking and found the Goose.
Rover.com found that French Bulldogs are the 5th most popular dog in the city of San Francisco. As you said, Vicki, they are expensive. They're also in high demand right now, and it appears that thieves have been catching up on this, and they're looking at reselling the dogs that they've stolen for some quick cash. Adorable French Bulldogs have become a hot-ticket breed for Bay Area thieves. Since last summer, there have been several cases, sometimes violent ones, where the dogs have been stolen.
It's shocking that this is happening, and it's happened more and more recently.
Dimitri Perkin and Katerina Zabashta are French Bulldog breeders and co-owners of Emma's Frenchies in Brentwood. They say other than Frenchies being small and mild-mannered, making them easy for a thief to snag, the breed is in high demand.
Frenchies are really cool looking, and they have this like aura about them that makes you more like a celebrity, and that's why this is happening. So you're attracting attention, and you know, with being a celebrity, you attract bad attention sometimes. That's what's happening.
These dogs can also fetch lots of money, like this cream-colored one with a price tag between $5,000 to $6,000, or this lilac and tan combination, which can start at $8,000. But the most popular pick for customers of Emma's Frenchies has been the Blue Nose.
It's a certain look to the dog that's very different than your average Frenchie. And if you have a blue Frenchie, I think you're a pretty good target for.
Yeah. One of those unfortunate Bay Area targets was Chloe, a blue nose that was stolen at gunpoint in San Francisco's Russian Hill. Sarah Vorhaus told Cron 4 she was walking Chloe the night of January 5th when several men attacked her and took off with the dog. In another case from last summer, a burglar broke into a home in the city and stole a pair of 10-week-old puppies. That same month, a thief in Berkeley took off with a car with this 5-month-old Frenchie in the back seat. The car was later found. The dog was gone. And not even celebrities are immune to the Frenchie thieves. Pop star Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot in Los Angeles Wednesday night, and her 2 dogs were stolen, prompting the singer to offer a $500,000 reward for their return. Breeders say the Frenchie community can be pretty tight-knit, but the search for these stolen dogs can be difficult. The best advice for owners is to be aware of your surroundings when you're out with your dog.
You're the boss here. You know, we're all human beings. We can all be more cautious, and we should be.
Well, there's right now a $20,000 reward for Chloe, who has been missing for more than a month here in San Francisco. There's also been a campaign and a website that's been set up in hopes of bringing.
Oh my God, those stories, they beat that woman so bad. And you know what? I bet she was more worried about her dog when she was getting beaten, and they stole her dog. The dog's been missing for over a month. People getting shot, you know, people getting their home invasions. I've heard, listen, I know a guy, he had a car, he had 2 French Bulldogs in his car, pulled up to a gas station. Some guys jumped in his car, stole his car with the 2 Frenchies in it. That's why they stole the car, because they saw the Frenchies in it. He said he would give them $5,000 for the dogs back. He gave them the $5,000. They were a bunch of gang members down south. Gave him the $5,000. Got one of the dogs back. They wouldn't give him the other dog. Finally, after like 2 months, the police raided the place for drugs, all kinds of other stuff. Got the dog. I know people that had home invasions. You know, had guns in their faces, tied up for their Frenchies stolen. You know, all these different breeders that you know, I've been in touch with over the years. Just crazy, insane stories. And I can't imagine, like, Goose is my pride and joy. My pride and joy. Like, if anybody ever tried to take him from me, I would have to go down before, you know, I'd have to be done before they could get him away from me. And that's why, like I said, most of the time when I leave the house, you know, concealed carry to protect myself. And at my house, you know, nobody's coming in here and taking Goose or hurting my family. So just the way it is. So if you're a French Bulldog owner, if you're thinking about getting a French Bulldog puppy, you don't have to be pro to it. You don't have to be all about going out and getting a gun. You don't have to any of that stuff. You just have to be aware of the possibilities and the realities of owning a French Bulldog. That's the reality of it. You know, it would be great if you could just say, I'm going to go get a puppy and life would be great. But like the news, these people said on the news, those breeders, you're a target. There's a target on you when you have a French Bulldog. It's just the sad truth of the matter. So anyway, that story with Lady Gaga, Salty Cracker, if you check out his channel, he did a more upbeat, funny, you know, comedy story about that. Comedy video about it. He's funny. But me, I kind of want to make a more serious video just to show the reality of owning a certain breed of dog and the violence that could possibly come with it. And just like anything else, you have to be aware of your surroundings and prepared for what could possibly happen. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you like my video, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. We got a great community here. This isn't like most of my other videos, but we do have a lot of fun. We laugh. You know, that's all we can do in these days in this clown world is laugh. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay safe out there, guys. The world's gone crazy. Peace.